And here we are again for number 2. We're going to cover headaches today. Yay! Anyone suffering from migraines and headaches who does not want to take any kind of medication, who doesn't want to, because there are people out there, including myself, who they just don't want to take it. They know what ibuprofen and Tylenol and everything can do to their liver, and they're just like, and maybe you take it once in a while. But anyway, but before we get started on headaches, let's do our cover my butt moment. So the information, as always, the information shared in Homemade Remedies is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. I am not a doctor, and these remedies are based on traditional practices, personal experiences, and general knowledge. Always consult with a healthcare professional before trying any new remedy. By using these suggestions, you acknowledge that you do so at your own discretion, and I am not responsible for any outcomes, positive or negative. Okay? All right, now that we got that cleared and out of the way, rolling of the eyes. Yes. If you have to forward past this, I always do. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I know I'm responsible for my actions. All right. So, because we use common sense here. Okay. So, headaches, something I have struggled with since I was a child. And, I used to get them like twice a month, and they were really bad migraines. And I usually ended up, the kind of migraine that you usually end up throwing up, because it's just nasty. So long story short, I found out that I actually had a severe sensitivity, or I guess technically it was called an allergy to dairy, specifically the milk part. And every time I would have it, it would just give me these horrible migraines. And today I struggle with that too. I can't even have the cheese or anything. I usually end up with a migraine. It's not fun. It's not worth it. I do not miss the dairy, do not miss the headaches. And once I stopped doing dairy, my headaches pretty much went away. So first of all, I would recommend figure out what's causing your headaches. Sometimes we could have a tight muscle in our neck, right? Sometimes we just need a massage. That's nice, right? Sometimes we have a sensitivity to a food that we're unaware of. It could be anything from gluten to dairy to broccoli to, like, it could be literally anything. Candy, maybe sugar is giving you the headache, right? Maybe you drink coffee every day, and every time you don't have it at a certain time or whatever, then you've got a headache. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. That causes a headache. I have 3 major things that will give me a headache if I'm not careful. Besides the dairy, this is not counting the dairy. So enough sleep. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm going to have a tired headache. If I don't drink enough water, I'm going to get a dehydrated headache. If I am too hot, I am going to get a heat headache. And those are not fun. So I'm prone to getting headaches. So I understand this. Now, when I was a kid, I would just, I have a headache. I'll just pop some Tylenol, right? Or some Advil or ibuprofen, whatever was on hand. That's what I do. Get rid of the headache. Yay, it's gone. Sometimes it'd work, and sometimes it wouldn't work. Sorry about that. Sorry, slight interruption. Anyway, so yeah, if those 3 things occur or whatever, then I'm prone to get a headache. But as a child, like I said, I was, popping a Tylenol and whatever, and it usually would work. And then sometimes it wouldn't. So it'd be like, I'm just miserable, right? But back then I didn't know as much as I know now. And I'm so glad I do. One, quitting the dairy, immense. Now I rarely get a headache, but if any of those things happen, which being a mother, they happen more often than I'd like them to, or sometimes we get menstrual headaches. Women, you're going to get hormonal headaches. You're going to get premenopausal headaches. And sometimes they're going to come on and there's nothing that will help it. Like I've had a hormonal headache, taken ibuprofen for it, did nothing, taken Tylenol, did nothing, and the headache just wanted to linger. Or if you're pregnant, you get headaches. And it's just not fair. And so when you have those headaches, here's what I do to help alleviate my headaches, whether I want to take medication or whether medication isn't working, or it's just not an option, whatever the case is. So here's what I do. First of all, massage helps a lot. I massage my neck. So there's points in your neck. Like back here, I don't know if I'm showing it correctly because I'm not see what it, but back here, there's these points along here and also along here that really help. There's also points right underneath the ear I like to touch. And one time, if you find the right point, sometimes you can literally cure your headache right there. One time my head hurt so bad and I just felt intuitively to press back here somewhere. And I don't know the exact spot, but I just started pressing and it felt that hurts so good feeling. It's like, oh, that hurts, but it feels so good. And then I literally felt this drainage happen right down here. And it just drained down my face. It felt like it was inside my skull or face and it drained down. And then my headache was gone. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. And another time this happened is as I had a horrible headache. I was at work and I took my massage tool. It's called an AccuSasser. You can actually go find them on Amazon. We sell them. Currently, they're out of stock. We're going to get them back in stock, but it's got these two balls on the end, and you can actually use it to squeeze your neck. Oh, and it feels so good. Or squeeze your thigh or whatever. But I took it the long way and had it in the back and had the two balls and leaned it and sat on a couch and leaned against those balls and was hitting right between my I think it was my shoulder blade and where my spine hits, and I just hit the right spot and I literally felt my headache drain down. I was like, oh my gosh, I just cured my headache. It was so incredible. So massage is incredible. You can have success also certain points on your head, the temples right here. I like to press spots. I like to take my knuckle and I like to dig it into the right here at my nose. It's kind of above the corner of your eye, kind of at the corner of your eye, right where that bone is, and you're just pressing there. Oh, it feels so good. And you can do it on either side. That feels good. It's just like, oh, it just gives you some relief. And then there's also points right here. See where my jaw opens? So there's points right here. See on this side. Oh, and you'll feel it and it just feels good. You're like, oh, yeah, right there. And you'll feel the spots in your neck, and sometimes it's just because we have a stiff neck or a stiff back, or we just got tension that we need to release. Okay. So, those are some massage techniques. Also, there's another spot, and I hate this spot. And frankly, if I'm being honest, this spot has really never worked for me, but it might work for somebody else. So I'm going to tell you about it. But you pinch here. See, you're pinching here and here. There's this spot, and it hurts. It's right in between, and you just pinch really hard. And it's like, oh, but it's supposed to help alleviate headaches. Hate that spot. It's just uncomfortable, makes me miserable. I don't like it. But it has worked for other people, so definitely try it. Okay. There's other spots too, but these are the ones that I'm experienced with, I'm familiar with. So I'm only going to talk about those for now. As I learn more, I'll tell you more. But so those are massage techniques. So right now we have massage techniques, right? So good. Also it helps when you're laying down, take a weighted pillow, like a heavier pillow or something that you can lay your head on, get yourself comfortable. And I like to lay on whatever side. Like if this side of my head hurts more, I like to lay on this side. I like to take a pillow over my head and I like that pressure. It feels good. It helps alleviate the headache and sometimes it helps take away the headache. So that too. So it helps. And then along with that, my favorite essential oil, peppermint, which I mentioned when I talked about getting rid of, the common cold, is a pepper essential oil. I have it on a roller and I roll it on my neck. I roll it on all the spots. And mind you, careful, don't get it in your eyes. It burns. Although sometimes I purposely let it kind of eke into my eye a little bit because my headache almost feels better when it's done. I don't recommend doing that. Don't do that. Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not comfortable. But anyway, when you're desperate, you do desperate things. So, so I do it back here, wherever those points are back here. I'm putting peppermint across my head and it just helps alleviate. If you have an allergy, geez, I'll get the words out, to peppermint, be cautious, especially if you've never used peppermint before. I recommend trying a little on your hand, making sure you don't have like a rash reaction. It's okay to have a little bit of red because that means that, blood's going to the area. That's fine. But yeah, you don't want an allergic reaction. And then another essential oil that's supposed to help with headaches, it does not work for me, but it does work for some people, is lavender. Lavender is supposed to be really good for headaches, and you can do the same thing as I described with peppermint as with lavender. You can also diffuse it. Those things help. I also like to take peppermint and I like to put it on my finger. And again, if it's not diluted, it's going to be really powerful. It might be uncomfortable, but I do this. And I like to take it, I like to rub it on the back of my gums because all of this is connected. And sometimes a headache can literally be being caused by your teeth or gums or things like that, unknown things that you don't know that you're having issues with. So when I do that, I don't know, the peppermint gets places and it just feels good. It makes me feel better. So that helps too. Um, let's see. Another remedy I have, rest is important, right? Don't overstress yourself. But yeah, really the things for headache are pretty, cut and dry and simple. And these are the remedies that help me the most. Herbal teas are also really good. Find teas that, because like especially if you have a migraine and you're feeling nauseous, you're gonna want to peppermint is your friend. Peppermint is your friend, unless you have an allergy to it. Chamomile can be helpful too. Lavender, chamomile, and peppermint. So those things are helpful. So those are good. And if you can find a tincture out there, which I'm sure there's plenty, I recommend getting a tincture that is specifically for headaches. Those can work wonders. Tinctures are great. So yeah. So teas, tinctures, massage, and weighted pillow, take a nap, help the headache. And if all else fails and you're like, well, I tried to do this natural, but I need to function, it's okay to take medication. I do it too. And you just take the one that works best for you, that you know that you have the least adverse effects with. And yeah, so there you go. I hope this helped anyone. And as always, use common sense, do your own research, and happy healing to you.